Thank you for tuning in to Acoustic Chef Podcast with D. Will, Capel, Ebony, and Regina. You can expect to receive new content every Monday. Check us out while you're working out, on your way to work, or on your drive home. You can find us on all of your favorite social media platforms. Please don't forget to like and subscribe.
Still waiting on me.
Welcome to another episode of Acoustic Chef. This is D. Will.
This is Ebony.
This is Capel.
And I'm Regina. How y'all doing?
It's the ghost. It's the Acoustic Chef ghost.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
What the hell?
That is amazing. That is amazing how that happens all the time.
It's
crazy. Oh, go ahead.
No, it's like it probably is gonna keep doing that until you put that picture back on your wall. Like it's...
You know what? That could be it. Yeah, I got.
I think it was happening.
Pictures off the wall.
I think it was happening before that.
We've been talking this whole time, and y'all can hear me, and now all of a sudden,
right?
What's really crazy is the people listening. They were like, "What the hell y'all talking about?"
Exactly,
because it picked up on the other one. Like people don't realize it, but we record on two different things. We got the Zoom for the video, and then we use something else for the audio. So the audio worked fine, but the video they're gonna be able to see it. So that's gonna be
Zoom.
So Gina and I need to switch. So Gina, you're second. I'm last. Maybe it doesn't like our.
Let's see what happens.
The rotation.
We'll try that next time and see what happens.
Yeah. What's been up with y'all, man?
It's been everything and nothing and everything.
Oh, nothing much with me, man. I didn't got back to working out. Before we get started, I haven't went yet, but I know I am going. Make sure you go out and vote here in Texas. You got to the 30th. Know if you're listening somewhere else outside of Texas, know when the early voting ends.
Yep.
If you plan to do early voting, because it ends differently in different places, I'm thinking. Mm-hmm. But here in Texas, you got to the 30th of October. I know some people have already voted. Here have already, with us.
A lot of people, record numbers.
I have.
Yeah, exactly.
I have.
But make sure you get out there and vote. Early voting is possible.
And also know that early voting is here. I'm not certain about everywhere, but you can vote anywhere, any of the polling stations. You don't have to go to your designated polling station. You can go
until
anywhere.
Election day. Election day, you will have to, and that's when your lines are going to screw you up.
Yeah. So I was able to get in and out. I ain't gonna say in and out. It took me about 45 minutes, but other people that went earlier than me were able to, like, it took them literally like 5-10 minutes.
Yeah. If you're voting by mail or doing a drop box, which I highly discourage because there's so many things going on, please make sure that your box is legitimate. There's so many, like there's stories out of California where they're and I don't want to make it about a party, but the Republican Party has been trying to prove a point. So they're putting fake ballot boxes everywhere, and it should be illegal, but some laws allow them to do it, and people have been putting their ballot boxes in them. So I wouldn't even chance it. I would just go vote and then about the suppression efforts here in Texas. We're in Harris County, where in the Metroplex area you have 5-6 million people. They've made it to where you can only drop off to one box, Mm-hmm. Harris County is like the size of Rhode Island, and we have the same number of boxes as small country towns, and that's ridiculous when we had 10 at first. So our county at least has allowed drive-through voting. So if you don't want to stand in line, if your area has lines, it is legal to drive through. If you have elderly people, pick them up, put your mask on, go vote and make it count.
Yeah.
All right.
Vote.
Well
get out there
said.
and vote. If you're not going to vote, shut the fuck up.
Yeah. Right? Don't say anything.
Dang. Wow.
Don't be mad if you're not going to vote. I already voted. It took me like 20 minutes after work one day. I drove up to the spot, parked. We waited in line outside for about 10 minutes. And then once we got inside, it was smooth sailing. They give you one of those little finger.
I was wondering what that was.
Yeah.
So you can touch the
You
stuff.
thought that was something sexual or something?
No, I thought people were bringing them themselves. I was just like, oh, because I only saw like 3 guys with it and they posted it. So I thought they were being funny. I'm like, oh, okay, whatever.
They have like they stand there with a bowl of them, and then would you like one? And just you take it, put it on, and go in there and do.
Is that the real name, Regina? Finger condoms? That's what
I believe so.
Wow.
I think that's what it's
Take to your
called.
vote.
I mean, it makes sense because that's how it looks and how it fits. But dang,
It is. I don't know why they're ribbed though. Why is it ribbed? I don't know why.
Good feeling.
Why are they ribbed?
for her pleasure. For her pleasure.
Maybe the ribbed condoms weren't getting bought, so they had to use them. They had to reallocate them for y'all not giving pleasure to these men. Tune in right down below. Like, why aren't y'all using the ribbed condoms?
That's funny. That's crazy.
Yeah, I haven't voted yet because my son turns 18 this week, and I want this to be his first election. So I really want him to be able to go with us. So I'm gonna do the cheesy thing, and then I take the kids. I always take the young ones too. So they have to go. So we're skipping.
They can go see.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Very good.
Yeah, so we missed a slew of things or whatnot, you know what I'm saying, just because of timing issues and things of that nature. So we got to cram so much stuff into a couple of shows that I guess we're going to have to release both of them simultaneously or whatnot. But
or we could just have one long show.
I don't know. I think that's going to be, I'd rather break it up, but
well, let's just talk.
Let's just talk, baby. Let's just get it going. Yeah.
I don't think they care.
So a lot of stuff happened. LeBron won another chip. Shout out to LeBron.
The Lakers won the chip.
The Lakers won the chip, but you know how that go, man.
You can't be disrespectful like that and forget that he got 4 other people on the court. I feel you. I'm just joking.
So many people disrespectful to LeBron, so I try to get that boy as much props as I can, man. Bro, I got into the biggest argument with one of my bros, you know what I'm saying, over LeBron and Jordan. And only not because I brought up Jordan, because I would never bring up Jordan, you know what I'm saying? When I'm celebrating LeBron, why would I, disrespect Jordan or whatever? So in this sports group I'm in, I'm talking about it went on for about 2-3 days, man. We like beefing it, sending memes of each other and all kind of stuff or whatever. And then he an admin, so he posts something, it's like, yeah, I got you. Then I post something, nah, you can't do that. You breaking the boundaries. You can't post no pictures.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Yeah, so, and I ain't gonna lie, I was egging him on or whatever, because I'm just sick of him, like, just bashing LeBron or whatever. So we just going ham, just going back and forth, tagging other people, bringing them in. Look at this clown, all of that shit. It was fun. It was crazy, though.
That it baffles me, the conversation that it keeps coming up. I mean, everybody got their favorite. So, whether your favorite is Michael Jordan, your favorite is LeBron, regardless. I mean, me personally, my favorite is LeBron, even though I love Michael Jordan. But I don't understand the constant argument back and forth. I don't get it. Like, there's so many differences in the eras and the way they play and their style of play, but people be going to war like for real, getting mad. Like if social media wasn't the conduit to the conversation, they would be fighting.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Like they be getting mad. I just sit there and read it and I just laugh. I don't even comment on the sports pages no more because these boys be in their feelings.
Hey, bro, my biggest thing about it is, I like Kobe, LeBron, and Jordan as far as the greats to me from my era. You know what I'm saying? I love them cats. I wouldn't necessarily pit them against each other, but if you ask me who my absolute favorite, who I think the best, the greatest all time, I'm gonna say LeBron or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But I really don't have to say that because I like all 3 of them. You know what I'm saying?
Me too. Yeah.
But
exactly.
at the same time, what I don't get is Jordan is retired. Jordan doesn't play basketball anymore. So you predicating your whole GOAT experience on the past or whatnot when you got somebody right here that's giving you amazing entertainment right here in your face every day. You gonna wait for him to retire and then be watching YouTube videos like, damn, man, LeBron
bro, they
good.
watch the game. They watch the game and LeBron hit a shot. Jordan wouldn't have hit it like that. He passed the ball, Jordan would have shot that. Like every moment they go into the past, they not soaking in what they seeing right now,
It's
just
the
being appreciative of it. You
nostalgia.
know?
It's what they felt like growing up. It's the hero. They feel, So it's like we always I wasn't a Kobe fan. I didn't like Kobe, but it had nothing to do with his. When I look back at it, it had nothing to do with his work ethic or how he played or anything. It was I stopped liking him when he snitched, and then I was like, why don't I like Kobe? Oh, that's why, and I never got over it. So
I ain't gonna lie. I felt the same way when that happened. When he snitched, I was like, man, he broke the G code. Forget everything about basketball. But then I got over it. I mean, I did. But yeah, and you're right, Evan. It is the nostalgia thing. A lot of people it's not too many people that in this generation, this young generation that will argue Michael Jordan being the greatest. It's really people in our generation or older, so it is a nostalgia thing. So
man, it got this dude that created this entire video and litany of things that Jordan did that was better than LeBron and all of this stuff. And I'm like, bro, what's
man, you can do that with anybody. You can do that with me. Exactly. You can say when I was playing at 7-year-olds, I scored more points a game than Jordan did when he played when he was 7. Maybe he wasn't as good when he was 7. Who knows? Like you can do that with anything. That don't mean nothing.
Bro, the dude, my boy, his only argument, because this is the only argument that he could bring up, is what did Jordan do once he got to the finals and he's 6-0 in the final? I'm like, okay, so you telling me he could have bombed out in the first round for 30 years, you know what I'm saying? And then once he finally got there, he's 6. Like, come on, bro, that doesn't make sense. That you creating the argument based off of a stimulus that you created, based off the control that you created. You know what I'm saying? That's not how experiment works.
And that's why these conversations never make sense to me, because everybody's criteria is different. They make up their own criteria for these arguments.
Exactly.
Finals became, for some reason, winning the finals became the most important criteria to determine who was the greatest. Right. Not like you got there more, which shows that you've been better for longer. But when you got there, you won. So if you got there 6 times like Jordan and you won all 6, you better than somebody who got there 15 times, but they only won like 4 or 5.
Yeah.
I mean, forget the other context as to why the other person got there all those times and forget all that. It's just that, so people's criteria changes the whole argument, which is why it don't make no sense to argue.
Yeah,
it's really apples and oranges. Every time you hear the argument, it's apples and oranges.
He had thought I brought the big guns out, but I wouldn't finish. We squashed it before it went even further. But his old man is a big LeBron fan too. I was gonna expose that or whatever. So when you listen to the show, you know I'm telling the truth or whatever. Nah, but anyway, man, it's good fun.
They're all great players. I don't know why we're arguing about them. And I mean, whatever. Jordan was the best for his time, and we can't expect people to. I mean, I don't know. I think players get better over time. So you watch, you study one player, and then you say, "Oh, I'm gonna be just as good or better because now I know all his moves, and I'm gonna have my own moves as well." And also, I'm making moves outside of the basketball court, which is probably why I like LeBron the most, because of his moves outside of the basketball court. He's not. I mean, and Jordan did his thing too. I guess he's got shoes.
Well, he's now doing something. I read that he's opening up some medical clinics or something like that.
You better do something else other than those shoes, because LeBron's got a school and he's active and on the Twitters and he don't mind going toe to toe with whoever. Yeah, he's definitely I respect that.
A voice for the culture, and he doesn't shut up and dribble, and I can appreciate
straight up.
Yeah, I respect that.
Straight up. So yeah. What else we missed? Okay, ending that, LeBron is the greatest. But what else did we miss? I think we missed we missed the debate or whatnot. We didn't get to talk about that. The debate.
Yes. So they had the debate this past week, but they had the town halls the week before that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we kind of touched on it. We touched on it when it was coming because Trump he didn't want to do the virtual debate after he lied about being tested for COVID and, on the honor system and all that crap. So he didn't want to do it virtually because he didn't want to be muted. So he schedules his own town hall at the same exact time as Biden's town hall on NBC. And then he gets mad because of the questions that's being asked. It's not fair. Why are you asking me that? So
This dude was was it it was one of them Fox shows or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I forgot who he was on with, but the dude was complaining, talking about, look at the questions they asked me. They asked me about racial violence or systematic racism and all this other type of stuff. Look at the question they asking Biden. They asking him about what's his favorite ice cream and all of that type of stuff. And he goes on this 5-minute spiel or whatever. And then so they, well, okay, President, what is your favorite ice cream? Well, I don't want to talk about that right now. Like, what?
Same thing with the Bible. They asked him because he always talks about the Bible, but he can't say what's his favorite verse. I don't know if you remember when they asked him, well, do you like the Old Testament or New Testament? He's like, well, that's kind of personal. Well, if you read it, give us the book. I don't know. It's a personal thing. Don't talk to me about it. But you hold the Bible up, and every chance you get for a photo op, upside down.
Upside down.
Yeah. Basically,
that boy would have said the Book of Eli is his favorite book.
I'd have been like, show you right.
Say, man, that goes to show you this dude is so rich. He don't even eat ice cream. He probably don't even know what ice cream is.
He just eats
so
KFC.
Rich.
But the crazy part about all it is, you know, you didn't want to have a debate, you know, that the second debate or whatever. So you copied Biden because Biden wanted to get ahead and do a town hall. So you copied that, right? But Biden's not there. So the questions they ask you are going to be different. Why? Because you are the president. You're the current president. The questions that Biden is going to get are theoretical. If he wins, what he's going to do. Yeah. But you're already there. So you have to be, so their question is to ask you about accountability, because there are things that you've done that people see as mistakes, what you're going to do to make it better, how you're going to fix this. So what would you expect? This is not a debate. This is a question answer for you. They're not going to ask you theoretical questions. You done already fucked up stuff. I don't think it's about expectation, honestly. It's about propaganda. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think he knows. I say Trump is stupid, but he's smart enough to know how to play people. He definitely knows how to play people. He got that down pat. He knows what to say, when to say it. No. You know what? He could still be stupid, but he knows how to, he's psychology. He's not stupid in the way that I think people mean stupid. Yeah. Like his to me, his stupidity is not really understanding the effect of his actions. Mm-hmm. Yes. Mm-hmm. But his intelligence was about, like, when he says stuff, and he knows what he's doing. Yeah. He's calculated in what he's doing.
Very strategic. He's willingly ignorant, let's say.
I think he's just playing boss. You know what I'm saying? The same way anybody that would work for him would be treated or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? He'll pat you on the back and make you feel good. But at the same time, he's just doing that to get what he can get out of you. Then he'll discard you or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. The debate was, I thought it was entertaining to me because the dude lies like so it doesn't matter to him.
We're talking about the one where they were there together, this latest debate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He was still muted.
They didn't mute him enough.
Yeah.
I do think that she had a lot more control over what they were like when she said, "Hey, Mr. President, we're moving on now. We're moving on now." Yeah. And she kept it going, and he had to, his entire.
I'm sick of the Republican rhetoric. I'm sick of them having the same talking point. Every last one of them has the same talking points. Haven't heard anything new for the past 15 years or whatnot. They still talking about the same thing. Him personally, I get into arguments with black people about how much he's done for black people, because he says that he's done just as much or more for the black culture, or he's done what's more than Lincoln? No, not more than Lincoln. Yeah. He said he's the best president for black people since Lincoln.
Yeah, he says some could argue that more or just as Lincoln, but yeah, I mean,
And I'd argue that Lincoln didn't do enough, or Lincoln didn't do what he was really supposed to do at the end of the
But
day.
I feel like if you argue that, you fall into the trap. I feel like the focus should be on him and what he's claiming that he's done.
Okay,
Right.
focusing on him
Right.
and the claim that he's done. I got into an argument with one of my bros or whatever, and he's saying that, man, look all the stuff that he's done for black folk, woo woo. All I say, bro, you falling into the trap. You're looking at titles. You know what I'm saying? You reading the titles of books that say all of this glamorous stuff or whatever, and you feeling warm and bubbly on the inside. But when you go into the book, you don't even have to go that far. You could just read the preface and the introduction, and it's telling you what's in the book, and it's describing this stuff. None of this stuff is solid. None of it. The HBCU stuff is solid. It's not solid or whatever, because the money that he's giving to HBCUs,
It's already there.
for one, the root of it is, I want to say, in the Clinton administration or whatever, Obama re-signed it. He even extended it for 10 years, the money that the HBCUs were getting. He's in this, so the money ended in Trump's term or whatever. So all he's doing is renewing a policy that was already enacted. On top of that, on the back end, he's taking more money from them because they're getting rid of certain like subsidies and stuff like that or whatever. So it's like on top of the fact that there's over 100 HBCUs or whatnot. I think it's right at 100, and they have to split this money between these different universities and stuff like that or whatever. So at the end of the day, it's not a lot of money. It's just a drop in the bucket. All of the, and I'm not going to say all, but heads of the HBCUs have dispelled this fact that he's done so much, because he has not done so much or whatever.
Most of them have. Yeah, most of them have come out and said it. But I don't think that they want to make a big noise about it because,
I mean, because you're getting money.
Yeah,
you know
but also it's like, just you said you have these discussions with Black people. It's also, and you said you made the, statement about, just reading the preface, but it depends on what summary, where they're getting their summary from.
Exactly.
Because it's definitely ridiculous. And I wish we would get off of which one of them is doing the most for Blacks, because I challenge people.
Don't that sound weird?
Yeah, because even whoever's president, okay, and people says, oh, Trump did this. And I heard him say the other day, Black people are getting paid, and this is a number I'm just throwing out. I can't remember what he said. $15 more. My salary is the same. Okay, yeah, I may have gotten something incremental that had nothing to do with him. My insurance is the same. Just like when they try to make people feel like Obamacare was this end-all thing. Now I know some people, they got impacted by the mandate. Now let's fix the issues with Obamacare. Let's not try to remove it. Just like we could have fixed the issues with Medicaid and welfare and all these things. Yeah. But you want to take everything away and say, oh, it didn't work. But you have nothing proposed. Me personally, I guess, and I'm not trying to be selfish, I need to know I don't see any changes with me. I don't know any Black people where anything has changed. Fact. So I'm voting for the administration and who they're going to put in office. Yeah, you may not like Biden but I know who Trump appoints. I know that he puts somebody over education that knows nothing about education. And then instead of putting the heart and brain doctor over medicine, he puts him over housing. I know what he does. Yeah, so, and everything that we are against is happening during this administration.
That's a good point that you just made. Excuse me, because I don't think a lot of people think about it from that perspective. Because you're right, people are looking at this from the what are you going to do for our community or us, and then they're trying to choose the one that they think has the most leverage of what they're going to do for us. When in reality, neither one of them are probably going to do anything for us. At least we won't see it in the short term. If it does have a major effect, but it probably won't. So you're right. Like when you look at somebody like Trump. That was a perfect example. He appointed Betsy DeVos, and there is not one person that I've ever met that thinks that she's good for that position, that thinks that she's good for education. Yeah. I mean, you may have people say it on TV that supports her through political circles, but actual individual people, like you hear people talking about Trump, or they like Trump or they don't like Trump. I ain't met a person yet that like Betsy DeVos, because the decisions that she's made about education affects everybody. You know what I'm saying? It affects all of everybody's kids. So that's a very good point that you made, Evan. Like the people that he's put in these positions, they are making things worse because they're not qualified to be in those positions. And that's so somebody like Biden, you know, if looking at his administration and what he plans to do as a president. And I've said this before, like when you look past Obama, so many people, you know, liked Obama because of his leadership, but they also like the fact that he was a black man who got that opportunity to be president, the first black president. But prior to him, you had all white presidents. Which one actually changed things for the black community? And that answer is nobody has really changed things for the black community.
Negative impact.
Well, of course, yeah. But you know, so people act like the presidency started when Obama, because that's all they talk about from there to now. They forget everything else that happened before him. You know, so when you're voting for a president, you are voting for the administration. You are voting for like what are they going to do overall for our country? And we already see what Trump has done. When you take away these little talking points, you know, even if you're a Trump supporter, you take away those little talking points. What is there that he's done that has helped this country as a whole in any way moving forward? Forget black people, forget white people, this country as a whole. What has he done that has really propelled us to say that we're moving in the right direction as a country? People
got more flags produced.
Oh, they talk about the trade agreements between he's brought more jobs back home and stuff. That is a lie. That is an absolute lie.
And go ahead. I don't know.
Oh, no. Go. I was just going to say, they saying that the car manufacturers and stuff are coming back to America and all of that. That's an absolute lie. He's going to take the car dealerships. I mean, the manufacturers from Mexico, and that all of that is a lie. It's not the truth or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Y'all believe in this stuff just because he's saying it. And just because Fox News is reporting it, all you have to do is go read.
All you have to do is read. Yes.
The devil is in the details.
Where's the wall that Mexico is paying for?
Look, let's let Mexico pay for the wall, because that makes sense, right? But we all know that most of the drugs and all of that type of stuff and immigrants are coming via ships. So what is the wall going to do? You know what I'm saying? So all of that is just smoke and mirrors or whatnot. He's just rubbing your booty, trying to make you feel good or whatever, so he can get your vote.
I like that one.
So he can get your money and stuff like that. And then at the end of the day, he's going about his business. This dude is implementing plans that are going to help him and his family for years to come, and his other constituents and stuff like that or whatever for years to come.
Him and his friends. Not even constituents. It's him and his rich friends. Yeah. He doesn't care about the average Joe, white, black, Hispanic, or otherwise.
I mean, straight up. So he's done that in his office. He's done that with, you know, even with the example where he made the comment about Kodak, and then Kodak made all this money, you know, from the stock market. Like, that was calculated. That wasn't an accident.
He gave them $700 million.
Well, he gave them $700 million, exactly.
But stocks went through the roof.
Exactly, stocks went through the roof. Them. But he's done that. But see, that's not the first time that happened. That was a time where people made a lot of money from it. People have he's made statements about other companies and money going to them, and then people talking about that and thinking that, you know, they could go and buy shares of it because the shares were low. That's not the first time that he's done that. And I think all that is a ploy to help those people make money in some way.
It is, and it's insider trading. Like, it's ridiculous. I just don't understand how any of this is legal. And we continue. It's in plain sight. Right. It's not legal, but it happens. But he's law and order, the man of law and order. So
my boy also made a statement. He was just going through a litany of stuff that Trump has done for black folks, and he was like, which has nothing to do with black folks. The Frederick Douglass Act or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So the Frederick Douglass Act is about trafficking, is about human trafficking or whatnot. Has nothing to do with the man Frederick Douglass or whatever. Okay, thankfully you named the bill after the guy. You know what I'm saying? Cool, double thumbs up, which, like I say again, has nothing to do with Frederick Douglass or whatever, but human trafficking. And then you on its face, you like, oh man, that's what's up. Trump doing something for human trafficking and sex trafficking and stuff like that. Then you go read the act, and it's all about documenting and advisory boards and stuff like that. There's nothing solid. There's no meat. Do you know what an advisory board is? An advisory board is, I'm the top man. I got a top position. I'm about to hire my family, Gina, Pelly, and Ebony or whatever, to be on this advisory board. And y'all gonna get this money that's been allocated to me for this advisory board. And now y'all making money just for data collecting.
Yep.
What the hell is that?
So this is the thing. You know, when these arguments, I stopped arguing with people on social media when they like make comments about stuff like that. I ask questions. You know why I ask questions? Because I want them to show their ignorance. So now I've never, asked a question about this, but an example is about when people talk about the community zones and they talk about police reform. I started asking questions. I'm like, okay, so how many people have been helped with police reform? And I ask them in a way to where I'm curious, because if somebody's saying something and they putting their points out, if you ask them in a curious way, they think that, okay, well, this person want to have a conversation. By the end of the conversation, they stop talking to me because they can't answer my questions because they haven't done research. They're just all they're doing is repeating what they've heard because they haven't done no real research to read it. So I stopped telling them. I stopped arguing. I stopped making statements. I started asking questions. So and like I said, by the end of the conversation, or if they even start the conversation, it usually ends with them not saying anything else. I'm never the one that ends the conversation. It's the people that I'm talking to because I'm asking them questions. Because nobody's reading. Nobody is actually going and doing research. They hear like if I wasn't from here and I heard a Republican talk about the talking points for Trump and what he's done, I would automatically feel like that was a good man. Because you can phrase that any way. Any person who's making mistakes and doing things bad, you can phrase stuff to make them look good. They can say things to make you feel like they're a good person. So if you're not doing your research, then if you just listen to what somebody says, you're gonna be easily swayed. Most people in this world are sheep. That's just the truth. Most people are sheep. They listen to what people say, and if you are good, if you can speak well, if you are articulate, you can easily motivate people, then you're gonna pull people to you without even trying hard.
Straight up.
So the reason why I ask questions is like either one, you gonna actually go and try to prove, because you on a site, so people reading your stuff. So either you're gonna try to prove your point more by going to answer my questions, or you just gonna be like, well, I don't know none of that, so I'm just gonna shut up. Yeah. So maybe you get educated if you actually go look the shit up because you're trying to prove your point. Right. Or either way, you realize you don't know as much as you think you know because you can't answer the questions.
Yeah.
I think. Oh, go ahead, Ed.
No, I was just gonna say, you mentioned something about the plan named after Frederick Douglass, and I remember, and I was like, this triggers something. I think in the beginning of Trump's time or his office, he was talking about Frederick Douglass, and I just pulled it up. He didn't even know he was dead. He was talking about how he's doing great things and he's getting recognized more and more and more. So people had to say, hey, you do know who he is, and you do know he's dead, right? So I don't care who he names something after. Clearly, he knows nothing. So,
did y'all see the dude said that he's prepaid $10 million in taxes?
Oh my God! I didn't even know that was a thing. Like a prepaid cell phone, you just prepay your taxes. He said there was an estimate. They were estimating how much taxes he was supposed. If that's the case, then release the damn.
He should release
tax returns. What are you waiting on? He's been talking about that audit for years. They still not done.
Right. You should fire the people that can't get their job done. You can prepay, like if you know that you owe, you can estimate and say, hey, I'm just going to put this in here so you can either refund me later or don't try to say I didn't pay you. It's to avoid the late penalty. But he's still lying. It doesn't really matter.
He was advised to say that because he knows that by the time the truth comes out for real, if he wins, he'll already be president for a second term.
Right.
So he was advised to say that. All it was is a smoke screen, for people to be like, oh, okay, well, see, there's an explanation for why you haven't seen this. Yeah, so he was advised to do that. I mean, It's another tactic. It's always
when
tactical.
He said that, I was like, well, what is it? And then he said the $750 was his filing fee.
That's probably the filing fee.
And I'm like, what?
It's a comedy show, deaf comedy. Didn't y'all? I thought it was hilarious when Biden tried to bring it back and say, I'm going to talk to the American people. And then Trump says, see, he always does this. It's about you, people. It's about you. That's why I got voted in. That's why I got voted in, because they don't talk like a politician. He gets this glaze and he looks into the camera and says, America. Oh, I thought that's hilarious.
I was like, why isn't she muting his microphone right now? I am not trying to hear this. So yeah, I had a good time watching it. I waited it was more cordial, more civil than the first one. I don't know. I already voted. I just wanted to see, what kind of shenanigans were gonna happen in this particular debate.
Speaking of comedy, to be completely honest, like I don't know if y'all seen Borat.
Hold on, bro.
You don't want to go there yet,
before you go there.
I thought it was Borat 3. Is it 3 or 2?
Second one. It's
only
okay.
Before y'all go there, did y'all see that everybody was riding this chick? It wasn't at the town. Wait. What was the virtual debate or whatever? It was that one. So it still had people there at the virtual debate, right? Like at the little town hall meetings that they were doing and stuff. Okay, yeah. So that's what it is. So Trump had this this chick that was in the background, like this black chick in like with a red mask on and all that type of stuff, and she was like shaking her head and everything. He was saying, yeah, and the Republicans was going crazy. Oh my God, I love her. Does she have a GoFundMe so we can send some money to her? I'm like, are you serious? What? She was nodding at the most innocuous stuff. So I went to the bathroom and she like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
how do you sign up for these jobs? So she's like a millionaire. That's all I have to do.
Bro, I don't know what she is, but golly, bro, these people they simple minded. You know what I'm saying? They are so simple-minded, man. Just crazy. Like, they just ready to jump on anything.
Well, I got to figure out how to apply for some of these nodding jobs.
Right?
But I know we're moving on to Borat. Is that how you say it? Borat.
Barack Obama.
Barack Obama. But I just thought that to close it out, I just thought it was funny when, or it's not funny, scary. Trump says, I'm the least a racist person in this room, and then you have this moderator here that's a minority, and like if I was her, I'd have been like, excuse me, sir.
Exactly. That's all it would have took is that this excuse me, sir, or even like a look or something, Yeah. But
when you have to say that, I'm the least racist person in this room. You're the most racist. You absolutely are the most.
Well, he couldn't say he wasn't racist. You just say he the least.
You can't the least racist. You can't even make a statement.
That's also true.
Like, why the hell would you?
Like,
why would you say
the statement should be, "I'm not racist." It shouldn't be, "I'm the least racist." Like when you think about it, it's like, damn. So you are admitting that you're racist. You're just saying that you're not the biggest one in this room right now.
Right.
Damn, okay. So you're racist, basically.
You are, without question, the most racist.
I was curious to hear how he was going to answer the questions about police brutality and stuff like that or whatever. And he did. I thought he was just going to straight gloss over it, which he did, but he did dive in a little bit. I didn't even think he was going to answer the question, period. Which he didn't, but at least he gave some type of response or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they finally coached him.
Biden called them the poor boys. You told the poor boys to stand back.
That was funny.
I was like,
poor boy.
Did he say that on purpose?
I don't know, but that was funny.
Yeah, I didn't catch that one.
Was it an honest mistake?
Biden reminds me of how Bush used to say, like, I didn't think anybody could say more ridiculous things, because I used to watch a collage of Bush, just his, fumbles with his words, but Biden is probably right there. Just says it.
You got two old racist white guys deciding on what's best for Black America. That's amazing. And arguing over who's doing. I did the most for Black. No, I did the most for Black folk. Like, for real?
I mean, they two old black guys. Two old white guys. Two old racist white guys who are not in touch with the changing economy, the changes in this country, the changes in, like really in touch with the youth and the movement that they have going on. They're trying to keep things the same.
I think
two guys that like in their 70s that are not forward thinking at all.
Well,
leading our country right now.
If I had to put money on somebody who would be more progressive, I had to say Biden. You know what I'm saying? I don't think Trump, the stuff Trump is doing is bait and switch. Like I say, he making you feel good right now or whatever, just to get your vote, just to get your support. And not just black folks, but, you know, the Latinos and just poor people, poor white folks across the board or whatever. He's doing what he can do to get your vote. At the end of the day, he hasn't done anything for any of us. Nothing. You know what? White people, poor white people should be even more pissed off or whatever.
They should be.
Because at least he's pretending to do something for black people. All he's doing for you is saying salacious stuff or whatever and making you feel good about the racism or whatever. Like the South shall rise again, but it's not. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Can't say it again. I missed it. Say it
again. He making you feel like the South gonna rise again. And at the end of the day, he doesn't give a damn about that. They say Trump don't care about abortion the way y'all think he do. Nope. He don't care about none of this shit.
Trump don't care about nothing but himself.
No, everybody that's his friends have said he's not even a Republican. They say he's never been a Republican.
He's not a Republican.
No.
He's not.
Never.
Only his pockets. His pockets are only Republican. That's
Trump don't care about his wife. His wife don't care about him.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, look, I've never seen a person look so uncomfortable every time she stand next to him. I've never seen that. Like, even we knew that Bill Clinton cheated on Hillary, and they still looked like they was a team when they stood next to each other.
She ain't nothing but a beard.
Melania is like, get me the fuck.
She's like, you still alive? COVID didn't take you out?
She looked disgusted by this man. Like every time they around, he's like standing next to him. She just standing straight up with her hands like this in front.
She won't hold his
look
hands.
at him. And the fact that she got a mask on now is great because she ain't got a smile.
Right.
Yeah.
Think about it, because it's not like she's prim and proper. Come on, you got a whole woman that's been a nude model.
Her nudes are all over the internet.
So she wouldn't be that kind of like stuffy first lady, and she's just a
She is. She's uninterested. Yeah. She has no platform. She can't tell me.
Like, yes, it is. Be best. Be best is her platform.
Be best. That's not even grammatically correct. Girl, sit down somewhere. And then I was driving home the other day and I saw a sign in a yard and it said "Women for Trump." And I was like,
I saw that too.
What kind of woman do you have to be to continue to support a man?
An idiot?
Who wants to take over your own reproductive rights and tell you what to do with your body and tell you what you can and can't do, and get your husband's permission before you do this or that, or have your tubes tied, and just turn around and let me grab you by the like what kind of woman would support a man like that? I was just like, every day I drive by that house and I just want to go kick that sign down, but then I would be mad if somebody
the women that couldn't even put a woman in office, that voted against a woman. But I don't know if y'all use the neighborhood app that kind of tells you what's going on in your neighborhood. So I saw where somebody posted and they were like, someone took my Trump signs, and then somebody said, somebody else too. These liberals are shaking in their boots because they know we're going to win and take over. And I'm just like, yeah, there are probably some kids playing with y'all. Ain't nobody ain't got time.
Yeah. That's what it is. The thought process is, Trump is going to win. Let me go take these signs out of their yards. Let me go destroy these Trump signs. That's going to change it.
No one cares.
This is my question.
Nobody cares.
Because I've been wondering myself, what's the purpose of letting people know who you supporting? Like, what's the purpose?
I totally agree.
So that they can target you and be like, okay, we know racists live there. We know where we're going Halloween. We know whose house we're egging and toilet papering on Halloween.
I think it's a war in these neighborhoods. I don't even put my kids' school on my car, like bumper stickers. I was like, why would I mess up my car for that? I love my kid, but your sticker's not going on my car. So I have seen homes totally decorated. Like I went to one neighborhood. I'm showing the home. I'm a realtor. Y'all get at me. But I saw this one corner house had Trump everywhere. And I was like, I had just made the comment that it seems like the Democrats don't really decorate their homes. Oh my gosh, turn the corner. Usually they don't. I may see a sign here and there. But this home had like panels and like flags that looked like they were custom made that were like, Biden, Kamala, and they had ribbon going around. I was like, okay, I think these neighbors at war with each other.
Probably so. Yep. Yeah. Most likely. Yeah. I got a neighbor down the street with a Trump pen sign. He tried to wave at me yesterday. I ain't even wave back, you racist.
You should have. You should have waved. Hey, sir, how you doing? You should have stopped your car and went up to him. Hey, I see you got your yard decorated. What's
Like,
this
hey.
all about? I would have had a whole
You should have said, my wife might walk by here. Don't grab her by the pussy.
We got this house that my wife, she took a picture of it and sent it to me. She sent it to David too. These people got the Trump pen sign up in their yard, right? Then they have a grave site, and on one grave site it says Biden, the other one says Harris. And then they got the what's that thing called, Damon? It's like the little it's like a little torture device that they used like years ago. They used it with slaves. They also use it in medieval times too, where like your head go in and then your arms out. They got one of them up. Yeah, something like that.
I'm looking it up. Go ahead, Capel.
So
the gallows,
so my wife saw it, and of course, like
a pillory.
Pillory, yeah. So she reported it to HOA, and they gonna tell us, well, we're going to say something, but we can't really, like, we may not be able to take action because a pillory is not necessarily associated with slavery, which is not a lie. But when you look at the totality of their yard, it could easily be looked at as something that's like racially motivated. So they told her that they don't tell the neighbor that they got to October 31st. And I said November 1st. If it ain't gone, they're gonna hear from me. You got to Halloween, okay? Because you want to say it's Halloween decorations. November 1st, Halloween is over with. So I'm gonna be getting with the HOA and see if they do something.
November 1st
the thing is like,
dead.
the thing is like this is like Damon, the question you asked, you say you don't see the point. I mean, I see the point in supporting what you believe in, but politics is so divisive. So because it's so divisive, and because people like get so bent out of shape over it, I don't see the point of showing your support. Like putting signs in your yard or whatever. But when you go as far as what these people did that I just said, like you want to show your support for Trump, then put your sign out. That's fine. But why you gotta have a grave site with Biden and Harris? Like why you gotta have like and then the pillory? When you really think about it, that's not Halloween. That was a torture device that people actually used in real life. It has nothing to do with Halloween. Nothing at all.
Yeah.
So it's like, I mean, I feel like that's you just going too far. You're going too far when you do that kind of stuff.
If we go down the Trump and Biden rabbit hole, who's better and all of that type of stuff or whatever that everybody's doing nowadays, when we bring up presidential candidates and your first response is talking about another person, you know what I'm saying, or whatever, and even if your first response is how much he's done for black people and you're a white person or whatever, then your argument is invalid. It doesn't make any sense or whatever. Why are you voting for somebody that's done so much for black people? What has he done for you? Like, why would you vote for somebody that's all of his numbers are inflated and are lies? The dude talk about unemployment is at his lowest. He inherited good unemployment rates for one. We lost them during COVID, and now we're getting them back. You can't say that. He talking about there's a record number of jobs that have been given. Of course, because we went through COVID. Tons of people lost their jobs or whatever. So that's not fair. That's not a fair assessment. You know what I'm saying? That's stupid. All you doing is getting back what was lost. That's not exponential growth. That's not growth at all. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Companies are still closing down. Companies are still consolidating, merging together. I mean, the outlook of a lot of things have changed. COVID has changed a lot of things forever. And it's because of its handling. And I'm very interested to see, even though I feel like the government can always fund and find money for what they want. I'm really interested to see where's this, I don't want to call it bailout, like even the stimulus, even though I don't think enough was done, the millions and millions and millions of dollars that all these companies got, and then even the $1,200 that everybody got, we're going to pay this back. Who's paying it back and where's it coming from? What are they going to put in to make us think we're not paying it back? But I'm really interested to see where all of this is going to come from in the future decades. Or are our kids or grandchildren going to pay it back? Is our Medicaid, our retirement? What's going to happen?
You know what? So as far as Biden goes or whatever, something that's scary to me is the fact that, you know, we from H-Town, we live in H-Town. H-Town is a company built on oil, just hands down or whatever. I met a dude not too long ago, I don't know, probably about it was about a year ago or whatnot. He had to come out to the house. He was a contractor, and we was just chopping it up. He was from like Europe or some London or somewhere like that. He came over here with his wife. And he was like, ultimately, he wants to be like a video game designer and stuff like that or whatever. I was like, oh, that's what's up. He was like, so I'm gonna either have to move back to New York, which is his point of origin in the States, or he said, I'm gonna have to move to Austin. And I was like, Austin?
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, he gotta move from Houston, which is the third, fourth largest city in the United States. He gotta move away from here to go do, you know, something that's technological or whatever. We got all of these buildings and stuff like that. We're not leaders in technology. All we have is oil.
No, we have technology, but not like that. Austin is the Silicon Valley of Texas. But, and that's where the grants, they've allowed and I don't want to call them opportunity zones, but the least taxes for those type of companies to come. But I will say as the city, we did vote on something, and I don't even think we knew we voted on, but there's some technology center that the mayor of Houston is putting like in the energy corridor if it's still being funded. And it is going to be something dope, but it won't rival Austin at all. But
That's crazy.
But you got to think about these big companies, these oil and gas companies, and this is my opinion and speculation, nothing fact, that they're probably making sure that the industry stays what it is. So they're probably putting money towards keeping certain things out. Just like we're certain states pay Texas to keep casinos out, even though that there's still some. So I mean, I wouldn't be, you know, surprised. But I'm in oil and gas. Companies have already been targeted for years and years. They know they have to move to renewable energy. So I don't understand the big thing. You may think, oh my gosh, I'm gonna lose my job, but no, it's just your job changes into something else.
We're gonna lose our planet.
Yeah, right. We can't keep doing the same thing the same way.
It's not sustainable.
Right. So they know that, and it's not something that is baffling that we don't already have departments doing. You know, I'm in my company, we already have that. So we're already having to find clean ways to do stuff. And that has nothing to do with Biden, Trump, or whatever. It's what we're going to have to do.
Exactly. All this plastic, Dow, DuPont, Exxon, you know, all of these different companies or whatever, you know what I'm saying? How much money does one need in a lifetime? Like these companies, these people have enough money to last them. They don't ever have to work again, like, and they downline for several generations to come. How much money do you need? You know what I'm saying? It's not like you doing this and the people that work for you are becoming millionaires as well. You know what I'm saying? You only taking care of your family. How much money does your family need at the expense of destroying the earth? They say there's a Texas-sized plume of plastic in the ocean or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? You know, on top of you know, depleting the ozone, all of this other type of stuff, people getting cancer in these areas at alarming rates that live near these plants and all of that type of stuff.
Clustering, cancer clusters.
It's astronomical or whatever, man. It's crazy or whatever. But I do need your company to, you know, do good in the next couple of years because I got stock in your company.
I don't want to say, okay, we'll talk offline because I don't want to say what company I work for, but so my company got bought out last year. So if you're talking about the company I'm in now.
Yeah. Anyway, so Capel was gonna bring up Borat. Have y'all seen Borat?
No, I saw the
new one.
Borat.
No.
Oh my God,
man!
I read some stuff. I didn't watch the first one. I thought it was dumb. When I started, I was like, "This is stupid and incredibly racist." So I stopped watching.
So this is the thing. It's satire. It's satire. You know how satire is, Regina.
But I feel like it's not. I feel like this newest one, the way it's being described, is more of a like in your face kind of. This is what's really happening in America. This is how we really think of you people. Like.
Think of who? What?
I'm not watching
talking about think of who? America or black people?
About America, like how Americans think of foreigners or, you know, people who are not typically seen as Americans. Because when I go out of the country and people, like, well, I went to Mexico one time, they had never, we said we were from the United States. They were like, I mean, we know, but like, normally when we see people from the United States or from America that come here, they're like white and they have a lot of money and like, yeah, I don't look like that at all. Yeah. Like basically whatever stereotype. And first I was offended, like I ain't broke. Like I ain't broke. Yeah. But then I was like, oh, okay. So what they normally see are rich white people that come over here to, and they exploit whatever they have and then they go back home. So I don't know. I just when the first one came out, I was like, I ain't watching this.
He's sarcastic, you know what I'm saying?
Very.
And it's sad, like Capel said, satirical.
So Sacha Baron Cohen, he got about 4 movies with different characters. He has one called Bruno. He got one called Ali G, and then he got these Borat movies. And that's just like what he does. He does these characters where he dresses up like it. So I can't remember the first Borat. I don't remember all of it. I saw it, but I just don't remember it as a whole.
I remember the rodeo scene. That's like
that's one of the worst. Yeah, I remember that scene too.
Yeah, I think it goes a little too far. It's not my type of watch because I think it's unbelievable, and that's my thing. Is like people have to be stupid not to recognize him, and then isn't he like tall and you know, I don't know, and it's like they keep getting fooled, and I understand they send in other actors too.
But this one is hilarious. I'm not gonna lie. I still don't know if y'all would like it. If you watch it, you just have to let us know. But like, so what did y'all hear in the news? Let's talk about that first, because that's probably the parts that most people would have heard if they hadn't watched the movie. They probably saw what happened. So what did y'all hear?
Was it Rudy Giuliani? That's
the
15-year-old.
Okay, so the setup.
All right. Yes.
Okay. So it's definitely directed. You know what I'm saying? Most definitely. But the direction is for us, the viewer. The direction is not for the people that are unassuming, because they really don't know. You know what I'm saying? They don't know
what's going on.
They don't know what's going on. They may not some people may know it's him, and I'm pretty sure they don't use that production or whatever. They only use what makes sense. I mean, it's hundreds of millions of people in this country. Everybody doesn't know this dude, and everybody doesn't know what he's doing and what he's up to. But in this situation, they used a female. She's actually 20, in her 20s and stuff like that or whatever.
Mid-20s. She's well over age.
So because they're a production company, they got money, they have resources. So they're setting up fake scenarios that you unassumingly believe that you're getting into a real situation or whatever, and which was he was meeting a reporter. Mm-hmm. Simple as that, doing an interview.
But he thought the reporter was 15, correct?
No, he didn't know. No, he didn't know how old she was. That's not even a part of.
It's really not like the 15-year-old was the girl in the show. She was 15. You know, that's just was her character in the show. She was 15 in the show.
No, I understand that. She was really, in real life, she's 20-something, but she's posing as a 15-year-old.
No. See, that's what I'm saying. The setup for Rudy Giuliani had nothing to do with her being 15.
It did.
That's just an extra added bonus. Just a funny part.
It's the only thing that I hang on. But
so this is what happened, because I mean, we just gonna tell y'all, because it's not like one of those shows where you like you don't want to end it. You know, it's going, if you watch it and you think it's funny, it's gonna be funny regardless. But so she set up, so his daughter, like they set up an interview with Rudy Giuliani. And in this interview, you know, she's like being flirtatious with him, touching him on his leg, and you know, he's making comments. He's feeling it. You know, he's like, oh, you know, you look nervous. It's very disgusting. He's like, he's like, you look nervous, and he says, you know, don't worry, you know, I'll relax you. Like he you know, saying stuff like that. You know, the way he's smiling, looking at her, like he looked like a monster, like for real. But and of course, all that is on purpose. Like it's on purpose. It is, you know, her trying to, you know, she trying to like, you know, flirt with him. Exactly, because the premise of it is she's giving herself to him. Borat, from his country, they are trying to get in good favor with America, with Trump administration. So they tried to give his daughter to Pence. And I'm gonna talk about that in a second. That didn't work as a gift. So now they're giving the daughter Giuliani as a gift. And the way that they're doing that is, you know, she's a reporter. She's going to try to seduce him, but she's asking real questions, and he's answering questions like normal, like he normally would. And so Sacha Baron Cohen, he comes in disguised as one of the Mike guys, and he's trying to get her to change her mind because he realizes he don't want her to do it anymore. That's his daughter, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, no, I don't want you to die when you go back home, because they told him it was going to kill him if he don't get it done. So she pushes him away, and then they end up going to the bedroom, to try to and when they go into the bedroom, they're trying to fix his mic. She's touching on him. He sits on the bed. She's touching on his leg, trying to fix with his mic. His mic is in his pants.
On her back.
He started rubbing on her back. He lays down. He's on his back. He got his hand in his pants, and she's right there by him. And you have to see it. Even if you don't watch the movie, fast forward to that part just to see what we're talking about. And then Sacha Baron Cohen comes in as his character was like, "What are you doing? She's only 15." And Rudy Giuliani jumps up and is like, "Wait, what is this? What is going on?" So,
you didn't hear him. He jumped up. He was like, "Oh."
Okay, that was my thing. I just want to know where the age came in. So it was at the end.
Yeah.
Okay, I get it.
So it's when you look at the whole thing, it is satire, and it's Sacha. I ain't gonna lie, I think he's kind of a genius in the way that he produced this show, because it's not just about it. It's really dogging the Trump administration. He is dogging them.
And the supporters. He making them look so stupid.
He make them look so stupid.
Yeah.
And when you first watch it, you don't really know where it's going. When you first start, you don't really know the direction it's going. But as you start watching, you're like, yeah. And then if you go read his comments afterwards and stuff, this was clearly put out at this time on purpose, right before the election. This was a plan of his to do this. I mean, and then it's some stuff that probably people will see as overboard. There was a part in the show where they're talking about the Holocaust and his daughter. So his daughter is they raised in this country where women are super inferior. They can't do nothing. Super suppressed. And she's grown up as a child. She's grown up as a young lady who's thinking that women can't drive, they can't read, they can't do nothing sexual. They can't do anything. She's in a cage, she lives in a cage, just real extreme. And she finds herself as a woman. She ends up at, having a conversation with a black woman who tells her all these things that she can do. She's driving. She's like, you're not supposed to drive, blah, blah, blah. So she ends up at this conference. And when she leaves the conference, I'm not going to tell you what happened in the conference. I'm going to leave some stuff for y'all to see if y'all watch it. But when she leaves the conference, she say something about Facebook, where, Facebook is where you get your news and the Holocaust is a lie. And she shows it to him. And then Sacha Baron Cohen is like, the Holocaust is not real. So he goes to a Jew synagogue, Jewish synagogue, to commit suicide, and he dresses up like
all the Jewish
stereotypical Jew, and he has on this long nose, and he has a money bag in his hand, and he got on these tights, and then he sits down with a woman who's actually a Holocaust survivor. So some people will look at that, and then he's saying stuff like the Holocaust is not real, and and she's literally like, no, I'm a Holocaust survivor, and she's being nice and kind of she's trying, so some people will look at that and be like, that's kind of messed up. I can see people looking at that and saying, that's messed up. The sweet old lady who's a Holocaust survivor, you playing this role like the Holocaust is not real. And then when she says the Holocaust is real, of course, he's like, the Holocaust is real? Yes, it was real, because he's reacting to what he thought was a lie. But she don't know that, because she's literally a person who's not acting in this show, but was set up to meet him at this church. So I can see how parts of it people would be like, yeah, you're an asshole. But the overall movie, the overall show, I mean, it definitely has a message. Well, I definitely think, I mean, whether you want to say it's overboard or not, but people got their opinion about it.
I don't think there's no such thing as overboard. Either you're a shallow person or you're not. You know what I'm saying? And if you're shallow, then I can see you, and you're not a thinker. I can see you looking at it and being upset, but there's layers to peel back. You know what I'm saying? And there's a bunch of layers to peel back or whatever.
I agree that there's layers, but I wouldn't say if you're not a thinker, because I don't, some people, everybody is triggered in different ways. And that doesn't mean that they don't think or understand the layers of things. So,
and that's true.
Yeah. But I would say one thing I can appreciate about it is just not I understand that is satire, and I have watched some of his old things. It's just not something I'm interested in watching.
Yeah.
But I also think it's necessary. But one thing I like about it is that it shows the holes in our security. Like, there's no way that if you're a properly vetted production company, even though I know he has a production company and all this, but you're not a properly vetted, journalist and all that kind of stuff. You should. The highest office in the land should not always be able to, get tricked in these manners. And I understand Giuliani is not the president, but Mike Pence is the vice president. So I'm just saying, it seems like he's done it more than once, and not just him. There's other people. So I'm glad that it keeps showing those things. And I was hoping Michael Moore would put out something. Do y'all remember Michael Moore?
Yeah. Is he still alive?
He is, but I can't. I Google him every once in a while because I'm like, where are you? We need you right now. But I think I think the last thing I read, like probably 4 years ago or 3 years ago, he predicted Trump winning again. And he had some reasons why. And I was like, I can't.
I mean, anybody sounds like a genius is 50-50. So yeah, I could say that either one of them is going to win. And if they do, then I sound like a genius.
Yeah. Well, but Ebony, you're right. That I didn't think about that, but it does highlight the security at the top level, because the part of the show where he busts in on Pence, that should never happen. Like, it shouldn't. He walks into they're at a conference, a CPAC conference, which I don't know. I can't remember what CPAC stands for. But he initially walks in so they don't know who he is, in a Klan uniform. Like, he walks in a Klan uniform,
they're like, that's my brother. He can come.
Because that's his disguise, so nobody know who he is. And then he goes in the bathroom. Now, I read, Damien, that he said that he was in that bathroom for 5 hours. Because that was the only way he was going to be able to, like, be in there with he changed into a Trump suit in the bathroom. So and of course in the movie it happens in seconds.
Of course, but, that's the production and the direction.
But he had a personalized Trump suit made. He had like the face and everything. Like, he put on the mask and everything. So when it was time, he went out. This is when he was trying to gift his daughter to Pence. He puts his daughter over his shoulder. Like, she doesn't have any shoes on, or like her stockings are ripped. Like, he kidnapped her. And then he busts into the conference while Pence is speaking and says, "Pence, I have your woman," or I forgot what he said. "I have a girl for you." He made it all the way into the conference. Security people are watching him, including security, run with this girl on his shoulder and get into the conference. And now they after that they escort him out. And they got this white woman, sitting behind him. She literally punched him in anger. Did you see that part, Damien? And he said, "She hit me." It's a woman behind him hit like a Karen, like basically like having a temper tantrum. She ain't got nothing to do with nothing. She's just a person there at the conference.
But from the outside, if you don't know what's going on, once you dive in and see what's going on, if you're a Trump supporter, you should feel like an idiot. If you from one of these third world countries that treat women like shit, you should feel like an idiot. You know what I'm saying? If you support Pence, and if you're a racist, and he's making all of these people look like straight up fools. You know what I'm saying? Not by asking them questions like some people do or whatever. He's putting them in situations where they look like it. Even compare some of the stuff was startling to me, that to show you how idiotic these people. The most sane person on the show was the black woman. That's the only person that had any type of compassion, and even her kind of questionable, because dude come in with the ball and chain and all of that type of stuff.
She ain't saying nothing about it.
I know you felt, we could tell she felt a certain way about it, but she didn't really exert herself or whatever. Most of these people, this dude was doing outrageous stuff. He's going to buy cages for his daughter. He's telling them that he's buying cages for his daughter.
For her to live in.
Yeah, for her to live in, and they still like, well, okay. He's
like, you're gonna want something like this right here. This is the best that we have. Like,
how many women do you think I could fit in this one? About 13.
Exactly.
Like, they really answering these questions and stuff like that.
He took his daughter to the to get plastic surgery. No, not that one. Plastic surgery. And he's talking to the doctor.
That was hilarious.
And then the doctor, and he asked the doctor, he's like, "Would you how did he say it? Would you make sex with my daughter?" And then he looks at him and he's quiet. He's like, "Well, if you weren't here," and he already knows she's 15. Like, he literally said it while they were sitting there. This doctor makes that comment. So it highlights how it highlights how America is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it highlights how America
Yeah.
is, and on top of other things.
Oh
but-
man, the abortion thing was so, bro. That was probably like the funniest part to me because everything he's saying was 100% accurate. But on the other end, instead of just listening to the situation or whatever, this dude has already made his mind up about I'm not you know we don't want to abort this baby or whatever.
They trying to get an abortion. So we got to tell y'all this last part, and then we can move on because I know y'all not gonna watch it, so I want y'all just know
I actually might.
I feel like I need to watch it now just to see all these parts.
They have this part
about.
where they go into a bakery, right? And then the daughter, she like wants a cupcake. She wants a cupcake and it has a baby on top. So
it's like a fake, a fake baby.
Yeah,
like
fake baby.
Plastic baby that's in the king cake.
So she's not supposed to have it, and he don't want people to see him because, of course, women are suppressed and not supposed to have treats or whatever. So they go behind the dumpster. He's like, okay, I'm gonna take you behind the dumpster so you can eat it. And then she's eating it real fast, and she ends up swallowing the baby. So he's like, oh, well, we got to go get the baby out. So they go to an abortion clinic. And then they talking to the abortion doctor. It was like, well, no, we got to get the baby out. They tell us she's 15 and they talk about getting the baby out. And they saying stuff like, yeah, this is my daughter. It's like, I put the baby in my daughter. It's like, have you ever put a baby in your daughter? It's like, and they kept saying stuff like, I want the baby out. And he was like, well, no, we can't. Like literally.
It's a life.
Exactly.
Like,
so the doctor, the guy that's sitting there, the scenario for him is this woman is pregnant. This girl is pregnant by her dad. That's the scenario for him because he has no idea what happened on the front end. And his mind is completely made up that they can't do it. That is not right. It shouldn't happen. Forget the scenario of why it happened.
They can't explain it to him. He's trying to explain that, no, the baby is not alive and stuff like that or whatever, and he's not even, he ain't trying to hear none of that.
They even make the comment that like she got to poop it out and it's going to hurt because the baby is like this. Because it's a little small toy and the hands are out, so he's not hearing none of that. He could easily like decipher certain things and ask questions and maybe got to what really happened.
He could have did a sonogram. He could have did a sonogram. He could have did a urinalysis and seen that she wasn't actually pregnant. You know what I'm saying? But so like I say, man, it was beautiful to me. It was hilarious or whatnot. Like I say, the fact that these people are so stupid and it shows the stupidity or whatnot. Like who would allow some of this stuff? Like, I don't know, man. It's crazy.
Yeah,
but anyway.
So I would love to know y'all thoughts if y'all do watch it. So if y'all watch it,
it's on Amazon.
I would like to have a comeback and see what
Where do we find it? Is it on Netflix?
It's on Amazon.
No, it's on Prime.
Amazon Prime.
It's free.
Amazon Prime, and it's free.
It's free too.
It's not one of the movies you got.
Well, not free, but
if you got Amazon,
it's part of the subscription.
Yeah.
I
think we up
probably
against
spend
it,
too
huh?
much time on that, but yeah.
I guess I'll watch it now because I did watch the Ali G show and I thought it was funny. So if it's anything,
don't watch it with your kids.
reminiscent. I don't watch anything with my kids.
Hey, I think
So
we up against it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
are you talking about the time again? You will? Are you asking about the time?
yep.
I asked how close we are. Is it about the time? Is that your way of saying what time? How long we have?
I think
We up against
Everybody
it?
got something
I
right
have
there.
something I want
How
to
you
share.
disappeared?
So this week,
Oh,
this came out.
yay.
This is a book called Glory by
love
Karan
it.
and Regis Betancourt. So they are photographers in Atlanta, Georgia. I don't know where Damien went. I think
Yeah,
he
he
didn't.
just disappeared.
But they're photographers. They're a couple, a married couple in Atlanta, Georgia, and they do these amazing, amazing pictures for everybody, but they specialize in children. So you
Oh,
can
my
go in
God.
here and you can find this book at Target. They actually took some amazing pictures of my daughter. She's not in this book because I think she missed that deadline. But I'm going to post some of her pictures that she took with
That
the photo
looks
shoot. But
amazing.
it's just so amazing, so beautiful. They've been featured in so many publications like Essence and all of that. So I think if you can get a chance, get this book to celebrate the beauty of our children. And also make this the book that's on your coffee table or buy it for another kid so that they can, a young kid, so that they can see their beauty within here. So.
It's nice.
Yes,
That's nice.
definitely.
Yeah, I like that.
I'll be getting that.
We
right.
got some technical difficulties with D Will over here. You back?
what happened. Well, I guess
We can't see
We
you.
can't see you.
Time
Nah,
Y'all
we
can't?
see your name.
Oh,
can hear you.
Hold up. Bam.
Yeah, we still don't see. There you go.
There you go.
Oh, there you are.
Delay.
Welcome back. And yes, we're up against it.
Pause.
Super pause.
All
Yeah,
right.
so man, thank you for tuning in to another episode of Acoustic Chef.
We out.
Oh,
Bye,
yes. See y'all next time.
Bye.